What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So I've just taken a long on Ethereum. And the reason I'm doing that is because right now on the depth, I'm seeing some activity in cryptocurrency overall. Now I've got Ethereum on the 4-hour candle, which has effectively done a sweep lower, hit some liquidations and making a move back up. Now I've got to be very careful because there are some significant bids right now hitting the book on Ethereum. And you can see them right here. 18 million right there, 16 million, sorry. Then we have 18 here, and then we have 18 here, and then we have another 18 down here as well. So I've got to be very careful with this trade in case it does decide to reverse. But what I think they're going to do is they're going to try and go for the orders, because this order here, 18 million got transacted, which could be part of an iceberg order. And what's an iceberg order? It's imagine having a massive order that's split into many smaller orders. So they may be satisfied with this amount. So they're going to try and capitalize on this and then try and mark price higher. Looking at the book itself, I can see that open interest is coming in. So traders are showing a commitment to come in and put risk down. I've got this area here of sell orders. So I'll be looking for them to try and come up towards this point, but nothing significant. That's the issue that I've got with it. There's nothing really significant in Ethereum to mark up or sell. I've got 1.81 million. That's not really enough for me. And then you've got another one right here. Yeah, there, 700,000. It's not that much. So what I think the market's going to do right now, given that it has been smacking price to the downside, they've been picking up quite a significant amount of bids. Look at that bid right there, 23 million. I'm going to assume that the market said, you know what? Let's just bring it back up again and start taking some offers, because even though these guys have planted orders here, I don't feel like it's going to come to it just yet. But the only way that's going to be the case is if there is going to be some interest to mark Bitcoin lower. Going over to Bitcoin, I can see on the depth of market, we are currently trading in value area low. And what I'm looking for them to do is to continue with this narrative higher. Going into Ethereum on the smaller timeframes, I've got a couple of green vector candles coming into play right here. So green vector candle above the 50 EMA, another green vector above the 50 EMA, and another one. Logic would say I'm expecting her to try and mark up towards the 800 EMA on the grounds of a little bit of a recovery across the board. Just quickly pulling up this chart right here, which is on signals. I know you guys have heard of it. And this just gives me the delta, okay? And I can actively see who's coming in and committing liquidity. Look at that. That's a positive amount right there. Lots of money coming into it right now. The delta has increased aggressively. So then that would naturally then tell me that price is moving up ever so slightly. It is a small amount. But when I see a continuation of this figure here, this is a green delta. So that tells me as long as the delta is positive and increasing, look, those are big orders, those bright greens. So I'm looking for those orders to all come in at a specific point, which is what we're witnessing right now. And as long as the delta increases, then logic says that price is going to start marking up, because it's all the orders coming in at a specific point in the chart, which will naturally lead the market to try and mark higher. There we go. We should see that happening right now. Should be coming into play. So just looking at the book itself by paying attention to Bitcoin, just expand on this area here. So I'm looking at the order flow and I can see some shorts getting liquidated right here. I can see imbalances on the depth, which tell me that there are people actively trading at speed right now. And an imbalance is when the market is goes aggressively towards a specific zone. And if you look at the order book, you have to look at it at a diagonal. So from this 34 to 233, that tells me there's an imbalance right there. Okay, so 22, 186. So look at that. Someone's just come in. Okay, look at all those offers coming into play. If I get rid of those imbalances, we just remove the imbalance and go back to bid and ask, you can see that I'm seeing lots of offers coming into play away from the value area low. So then that would imply that the guys have been buying at the value area low to effectively try and mark price higher and try and get out of this zone that they're holding price from. Bitcoin on the left right here showing me that it could be getting over towards its value area low. So that could be a good sign for me. The 4-hour time frame looks like it's coming into a little bit of a resistance where the bid started to come into play on this candlestick. So I've got to be very careful, but there is some bidding here. 38,000, that is huge amount of bids on Ethereum. So Ethereum right now is starting to make the move higher, which is what we're looking for them to try and do. Keep an eye on that. We are trading at the value area low. We're at the range daily low. They've moved away from it. The actual, okay, so we're doing good right now. It's 15 million on the delta right now. So that tells me that there is liquidity coming into the market. They're going to try and work their way up. I've got to see if they can actually take out this high right here. Let me just put this indicator on there to keep an eye on that. So that's the next side of liquidity that I'm looking for. Going into the order flow itself, are we seeing anyone trying to commit any offers coming into play? So let's just have a look at that right now. We've got an offer right there, 1.81 million. We've got an imbalance. These are imbalances, so I expect them to try and attack that. Going into it, got some more offers up here. So we've got 2.11 million. And then we've got another 2 point, yeah, just slightly above that, 223. So we've got a little bit of an iceberg order there. So someone is selling in clumps. Got another batch up here, 1.81. I'd really want to see them try and attack this 1.81 million by going through the imbalance, because the market will naturally go and head towards that. That's what the logic would suggest. Where we at with some profit right now? So we're around $600 profit. That's all good. But if I'm really going to look at it like that, I've got to go into the position itself. And am I going to be making any money right now? Hold on a second. Let's have a look. So if I close off the trade right now, it's going to cost me, I'm going to be making $356-ish if I closed it off right now. That's not what I'm looking to do right now, because I'm waiting for them to try and mark up price, because there has been activity. Bitcoin is starting to climb up close towards that value area high, value area low zone. So there we are right there with Bitcoin. And then we've got this here. I just need to move this over just so that we can keep an eye out on it, because it is a bigger time frame. We're going into the initial balance on Ethereum right there. So I really need to see this candlestick trading as much as it can towards value area, which is this gray area right here. This is value area low. This is the value area. All right. So we're now witnessing, we've seen effectively that the shorts are coming into play in terms of liquidations. So you've got one batch of shorts being liquidated right now, and you look below and you see the imbalances. Well, they're not ready to go for those just yet. And I'm saying they're not ready for it now. They could be ready for it now. We don't know. But we've now come back into value, and the value has shown that there are offers coming in. You see how these reds here, that's telling me offers are being triggered, and it's starting to kick off to effectively try and mark up price again to the upside. All right. So it's been a bit of a shocking day today in terms of the setups per se, because of what had happened. And Microsoft says no to Bitcoin, which is pretty special. But nonetheless, we're going to now see, hopefully, we're going to, don't like saying hopeful, but we're going to be anticipating that Ethereum is going to try and just drift upwards. So we're going to try and pare back the losses of the day. I'm not worried about too much about these green vector candles right here, because they've recovered effectively this vector candle and they've come back into this area. But I do believe that we're going to start seeing liquidity coming in. The delta is still trading positive right there, so that's good news. And as long as I keep on seeing this order flow, quite a bit of selling there. But as long as I keep seeing positive on this order flow right here, then that gives me an insight into believing that there is accumulation inside of this range. So I'm going to want to see them try and sweep up and attack this zone. And usually what happens with Ethereum is she usually tries to move at speed sometimes. Okay. So you see that there, see that move down to only come back up. Someone's just been bidding at that point right there. Now we look at this 1,300 and we say to ourselves, okay, that could be some sellers, guys who are buying at that point because guys are selling to them. They could be trapped. Not after you've been dropping to the downside quite significantly today, okay? So you've got to always consider the environment of where price has come from and what you're looking for it to do on what is it doing now. So the idea is it's moving away from the area of volatility that they came from. So the idea is that where they have come from, now they're looking to go in the opposite direction. So from the value area low, which is this blue area, they're now going into value area. Now they're going to start transacting where people are going to believe, yeah, maybe it's now time to start buying Ethereum and start offering out. Retail's going to jump in. They're going to be excited. They're going to start buying. And then that's when they're going to snap back Ethereum to try and take back these imbalances. So we're going to try and wait and see if they can actually continue this. Keep an eye out. Look, notice how as they go down, there's not that many bids coming into play, which tells me that the bids might actually be done with this. Look, the market is now hunting for bids. And it's now captured a few of those bids right now. That's all good. But because we're not really seeing that much of a commitment from the bids, it will then look to reverse to try and go back up again. There's an imbalance right there. I'd want to see him try and take very shortly, but I need to see the offers coming into play. That should then reverse back up. Testing the value area. Notice how it's reversed from this one point right here. Why? Why does it reverse from that point? You then apply that logic to it and then say, okay, I'm going to hold on to my trade right now. I'm not going to close the trade because it's what? There's no point in closing the trade. It's not really giving me a reason to believe that I should close the trade. There's no need. This is the next area where they could effectively trap traders. I'm going to trade towards that point. If it gets to that point and it's a good trade for me and I see them trying to break away from that point, happy days. If they don't show commitment at breaking away from this point, I get out. I'll have plenty of room to say, yep, I'm favoring lower price, or I'm seeing that price is going to want to try and come back down again. I'll get out, take some profit, walk away. Okay? So we're going to wait and see if they can actually sustain this move. I'd want to see this turn into a green vector candle. So that'll be good news for us. Quickly going over to here, we've got 17 million on the delta side. So as long as the delta is showing positive, then that's good news for me. Quickly going over into the play. There you go. Look at that. I told you, man, like there's not enough really any bids, but the offers have been coming into place. So now they're going to be like, okay, let's start offering. And so now the market's going to climb aggressively. Bitcoin's coming back up right now. And you're going to start seeing a lot more offers coming into play where they're going to start liquidating short traders as well. You'll see very short. You see little liquidation point right there. I'm looking for them to give me some more bigger liquidation. So the market's going to just hunt now. It's going to go try and grab the liquidation points. Quickly going over to the offers and the bids over here. We're going into those imbalances. We've got some more guys stepping in trying to sell Ethereum. So that's good news for us. So we're going to see Ethereum pump right now. Any vector candles? None just yet. So I just need to quickly have a look at that. And I'm paying close attention to this. Here we go. Got some offers right now. What you'll find with me when I'm trading, guys, is I don't really look at my position when I'm trading. I can't. It's just right there. I haven't got it on another screen. I'm not interested in the position at all because I can't. Looking at my profit doesn't tell me what the chart's doing. Looking at the chart tells me what the chart is doing. Okay. So we're seeing it now making that way up. So let's just quickly go back into the chart. Here we go. We haven't quite taken it yet. No green vector candles. So that's telling me that we are expecting a green vector candle to come into play very shortly in this zone. Just paying attention to the delta right now. We're at 20 million on the delta. That's good news. Don't really want to be seeing any negative figures right here. These are sells and these are buys. So here we go. Just want to keep on looking at the flow. Make sure that it continues. There we go. A little push right there. So that's good news for us. Go to the 3618. Here we go. Got some liquidations coming in. That's good news for us. I really need to see some more offers coming in. 698 right there is no good for me. I need to justify more offers coming in on the assumption that they are going to keep going higher. Here she goes. She keeps on going. Keep marking higher. Keep going. Seeing a lot of selling as we're heading in towards that zone right now. So that could be the first clue that I might need to take some profit off the table with this move. But looking at Bitcoin, it's now currently sat in value area right now. So that's good news for me. So I've got to be very careful with this because here we go. Got some bids coming into play right now. So I really need to see the offers coming in and protecting it. Here she goes. That's good news for us. Lord, look how quick they were there. They really want to offer out. So that gives me a fuel to believe that there is momentum behind this move and that an accelerated move from that point right there is giving me a clue that there's someone in there getting ready to offer, which the market will then say, yep, okay, we'll go in that direction. And then it will keep on moving up until that area starts to slow down. Here we go. Liquidations coming into play right now. And it's starting to make the move in favor to our upside. Here we go. 23 million on the delta. That's positive news. Vectors, no vector candles just yet. And this is coming away from the low. Just have a look at my positions. Here we go, $1,539. They've now moved into that point. Here we go. This is where it gets very important for me. So I've got to be monitoring price in a second. Got to wait to see if they can actually continue with this. 22, 23 million. They're playing around in this zone. Bitcoin's going into value right now. And also Bitcoin has a small imbalance in the value area. You see this area here with a small amount of contracts? It needs to flush through that. Bang. 666, 698, 643. That's a participant who's trying to offload Bitcoin. Offload Ethereum. So he's offloading literally relatively the same amounts, okay? Which is encouraging others to step in at the same time. They're not done with the liquidations right now. I just need to have a look at open interest. Open interest has been climbing up, but it's somewhat negative here. They're going to start increasing that in a second because some guys are closing shorts right now because they're getting liquidated, okay? And that's where the market's going to rally and keep marking higher until it then stops, until it finds the next spot, before they actually turn to make the reversal. But I'm looking for some more offers up here. I need to see another bag of offers. Here you go. The open interest down there has changed. Here she goes. There you go. Look at that, 1,014. So people are now buying, okay? People are now buying into Ethereum because they've seen that it's pumping. It's now taken that key area of this zone right here. Now, this is where I say to myself, do I hold on to it? Is there still momentum favoring price? It looks like it because Bitcoin's made a spike above. So I've got to be very careful with Ethereum as well. Look, no bids coming in. That's telling me that they're going to get ready to go back up again. And that is a lot of offers right there. So there could be traders trapped. But if there's liquidity coming into the market for them to sell to, then they're going to keep on marking price higher. All right. Looking at the 4-hour time frame right here, you can see that we've nearly tried to take the wick on there. They've left a little gap up there. So they're going to want to try and go into that zero right there and transact. They don't like to leave an empty market. So this candlestick's pretty much going to be saying to me, yep, we're going to be seeing price going up. Notice they're coming down for bids and no one's really transacting here. So what has it been doing? Well, it's been going up. So I'll tell you what, the market's going to go back up again because it can seem to transact on flavor to the upside. So they're going to go and bring it back up again and rally up to the next zone. That's what I look at when I'm trading. I'm paying close attention to the detail of what the orders are coming in and saying to me. Because I look at it historically and think, what just happened? Well, what happened here? Carried on. What happened here? Well, it's come back down, shaking everyone out. Now they're going to go back up here and the guys are going to like, okay, let's start selling again. Let's start selling because there's people coming in. Well, let's just wait for it to go up first. And that's what I'm thinking about. Push. Watch this push. 3, 2, 1, do it. Come on. You got your offers there. Push it. Needs to break away from this point, get people to start selling. It's hunting for bids and it's not finding anything. So it does the opposite. It will go to the opposite end of the stick. Go to the offers instead. Come on. Now, remember, we have taken out this key area. We have taken out this key area. Vector candle at the top side of the move. Got to be very careful here. Very careful. What's the delta saying? 44. So we're all good on the delta, okay? We can't see them offload too much. Above 44, that's all right for me. If it goes down to like 35, then I've got a bit of a problem. See, they're coming straight back down. Looking for bids again. Not really finding anything. They'll reject from this zone. Logic would say that they were going to reject from this range. Come on. They just found some bids. Now, these bids are going to prove to us if they're buying at the lowest point to effectively offer out again because there's people up here selling. Okay? So they're going to load up on the bids, reverse price, shift back up, and climb to the next area. Here we go. Get some offers triggered. Look, no offers right there. No one's really transacting. It's a little bit quiet. Delta's going back up towards 40 nearly. Here we go. Someone just stepped. Look at these guys. You see those? That delta just swept. You see, it went from 44 down to 35, 39. It's now at 25. So now we're going to then see the test. This is going to confirm the test. If this move down is designed to pick up to then reverse and move back up again. I'd need to see the delta turning positive from here. Here we go. That's a big bid. They're going to assume the move up. Oh, we got an imbalance here. Could come back down. Got to be very careful here. Here we go. Starting to see some offers right there. So that's really good. Stop it. No. No, don't do that. There we are. Okay, we keep an eye on that. They really need to stay up there, but because there is an imbalance there, they do not like those. And if it moves away from this point, ladies and gentlemen, without those zeros getting taken out, this will be a very strong move. I expect them to take out those zones. I'll be very surprised if they don't. You see that? You see that little push down and then straight back up? Who's there? Someone is there. So we look left and we understand that we've got bids here. And I go to the left of the chart to try and find an area which would suggest that that is the case. All right. So I've got to be very careful. It's going to take a little while if I do that. Okay, here we go. So here I know that there are some bids. 879 on the bid side right there. I've got some offers coming in up here. I've got another batch of bids right there. So I'm going to mark that as a point of interest for me. So I hit this and then go supporty orders, me and my terrible spelling. Okay. Now I'm going to go over to the chart and I'm going to see how price is behaving at this point. So that would be in principle a next area of support. We've got imbalances down here that I've got to be very careful of. The bids have been absorbed by the offers because there were positive green there and the guys have been offering out into them. So it's been evening out the order book. So we're now waiting to see if these points of control right here, notice how the point of control of the candlestick right here, there's no imbalance on that. So that could be a little bit of weakness for me, but they seem to be bidding out in this zone. I may need to just get rid of this position, see how much we're going to make. I mean, 1300, I think we're going to have to do it, but we're going to wait and see if they can actually sustain the 5 and 13 EMA on the 1 minute time frame. I'm going to look to try and see if they can actually make a sweep up, recovery of the red vector candle to climb up a little bit more, going into the bids and the offers over here. You've got some trap traders up there. We've got a few offers coming into play right now. I've got 1.81 million. Yep, they're going to go for that liquidity. Someone's getting liquidated right there. Oh, they've already been for it. Sorry, because it's just updated. So we're now reviewing this one, 144. That will be the next point of interest. There's an imbalance up there that they need to go and fill in the book. That suggests price is going to continue higher to the upside. We've got this, excuse me. We've got this area here, 1.2 million. And then we've got 2.2 at the 3636 region itself. So we're now going to assume, okay, by the hybrid system, we got the test of the 5 and 13 EMA. So we're going to now naturally assume they're going to try and work their way back up towards that. And remember, when you're using the 5 and 13 EMA on the 1 minute time frame, give it freedom because it can go below it and go straight back up above it, okay? But it shows us that momentum is consistent inside of this range to the upside. So we're going to now look back on this, See if they can actually go through with it. The point of control of these three candlesticks right here, this yellow area is the point of control in the candlestick. So we're now assuming that who's winning? Who's winning? Well, this was the offer side. This is the bid side, but the bid side there's a lot of bids there. So they're buying at the lowest point in anticipation to sell again towards that point. Logic says that as we get towards this area here, we're going to see more guys selling, and the offer tab, which is this red bit here, is going to start increasing as it goes up to break out to the upside. Okay. And what you're witnessing there is a breakout of orders. So then when you look at that, say, okay, what happened at that point? Well, price moved up and they got those orders triggered. Those traders got trapped because they were buying at that point. Logic says they're going to try and send them up there again, break the range. And if it continues with momentum, happy days. And if it stops, that's where I'll be getting out because I don't want to see price to come back into the zone that I was waiting for it to break from. Okay. So you got to always be on the mind and the lookout for when to take a profit. We've just achieved this move here. Now I want to know if the market has got the history, the memory to trigger to get these guys to start doing the same business again. Notice you're starting to see him coming in at the lowest point right now. So before that, so that could be a good sign that it's going to get ready to rebound from this point to go higher. We're trading at the highest point of the 4-hour candle. We're currently in value. We've now come into a point here where it's 12,000 and 13,000 on the offer side. So we're going to assume that there's going to be some more offers coming in. There's an imbalance of 3.6K right there. So it's showing me that offers are being triggered. The logic says Ethereum has to be going up from this point. Bitcoin needs to mark up from this point to fuel Ethereum to move up. But I'm seeing these offers coming into play right now. They really need to mark price higher. Otherwise, I need to get out of this trade because then they can just bring it all the way back down again. So I'm really going to be paying attention to how they do this point right here. I'm looking for any subtle things. I've got the open interest coming in. Trade size down below is clearly showing me dominance for the offer side. So I'm looking for them to just then mark up price from this point to take out the high and then happy days. If they can't do that, then I'm going to have to get out. See that little drop down back up? Someone's in there. And it's those little tells that you look at in the chart. When I say to you, look at the speed of the candle. Look at how it moves up and down. And when you're seeing, oh, shit's going down, then instantly comes back up. It's showing that there's a commitment there. It's showing someone is in there doing something. See, it's coming down to come back up. Now, problem I've got here is if they do come back into this range, the bids might get started again. So they have to move away from this point. Testing that point of control right there, they need to get away from it if they're looking to retain this move and continue higher. Delta, 27. So we're still all right. We're seeing a little bit of selling going off right now. I'm not really liking that. It's still marking low on the bid side. Here we got some nice bids there coming in. Oh, quite a big batch right there. That should then lead it higher. Bitcoin needs to keep coming up. Got 185 on the offer side right there. So you're going to want to try and attack that. So I need to see them pulling the offers and loading up on the bids to then give me the idea that Ethereum now is going to get ready for another rally to the upside to take out the highs. I got a problem with this imbalance down here. So I've got to be very, very careful with this because I'll then end up leaving money on the table. What time are we on? We've got 30 minutes, new 30-minute candle coming into play. So I'm going to give it a little bit of freedom to come down to then try and wick out to then make the move back up again. Going over into the hybrid system, it's broken the 5 and 13 EMA. I need to pay close attention to how they hold this range right here because I will be leaving money on the table and I need to get ready to get out. $1,200 gain right there. So I've got to be very careful to see how they roll with this move. Here we go. I've got to give it freedom. Here we are. Not really. I see now we've got a lot of bids coming in. Not doing it. So what they didn't do up here, they're now going to show me if they're going to do it here with the bids. So I really need to see the next candle from this. I need to see a lot of bids coming into play. Open interest coming down. They've taken over on this trade size stuff, and that's a relatively decent amount of trade size right there. 404 on the bid side. So Bitcoin's now coming back down into the value area low. That might be a problem for me. I need to try and wait and see if they can come back up ever so slightly, and then I'll take my profit. So I just got to be very careful with this. This test right here has tested those offers right there. It's triggered them at 233 and the bids right there at 404. So we're going to assume that they're going to try and continue back up, keep them within this structure region right here. So I'm looking for them to get back into this range up here at the 3620. So I really need to see them do that. Here we go. Next candle. They couldn't go lower. This candle should be coming up. I really need to see open interest coming in and dominating from this point right here if they're bidding out to get ready to mark price higher. Not really any offers coming in just yet. Oh, here we go, 24 million. So here we go, quite a few bids right there. Oh, that's good. Delta's coming in strong. Okay, that's good news. Okay, so she's moving away from that, testing the 5 and 13 EMA. Where we at? There we go. Broke below the 5 and 13 EMA, coming away from it. They haven't taken that high just yet. They haven't swept it fully just yet. They took it over here, but they haven't quite taken that high. So I'm waiting for them to just sweep that range, go to the upside. Yippee-ki-yay, going into the offers. And the bids right now, we've got an imbalance there they haven't taken. We're seeing some offers. And also, you got to remember, when you don't see any activity happening here, the market will then come down. And then what will happen is offers will start to come in to get planted into the book. Same way it will be with the bids as well. Okay. So when you see them go for an area of liquidity and they've taken it, give it a few minutes, because once they've hit the offers, then the market is going to start coming down to build the interest from the bids. Okay. Once it's built the interest from the bids and collected bids in the process, whilst it's doing that, the offers are going to start coming into play. And then when it's achieved that amount of bids and trapped enough guys in the shorts to the downside, it will then make the reversal back up and start taking out the offers. Okay. So that's what we're looking at right now. And the fact that they swept this zone right now, this rise, the retrace, the logic is the next candle should be a continuation move to the upside. Really need to see Ethereum holding this point. Otherwise, we'll just walk out with whatever we've got in the chart, and then we call it a day for this trading session. But look, I'm not seeing the issue here. Look, can you see how they're loading up right now? You've got bids. They're loading up. This is going to lead to a pop. You're going to see a pop very shortly. Bitcoin will start off with a move up, and then Ethereum will follow suit. Look, the bids. Where's the bids? There's no one transacting there. So now they're going to be like, okay, let's just offer out. The algorithm will be hunting the liquidity. And the liquidity is clearly there for the people who are wanting to buy, which means price is going up, which means the offers are going to come into play. Okay. So just look at these numbers. They are small, but just look at the numbers. All right. Just pay attention to how price bounces in between at a specific zone. So you know this zone right here is a point of interest for us, because that's where the guys were bidding before. We know that this zone is an interest area because that's where the guys were bidding before. So we know that those guys have been placing limit orders to sell at a higher price point. So we're now waiting to see if this zone right here is going to sustain, because they could come back down into the imbalance and that would be fine. Okay. But we're going to now make the assumption that the market's memory is going to come into play at this point. We're waiting to see if they can actually offer out, because if they're not going to offer out yet, it means they're not done with the bids. And if you look at the candles, there's one section here, another section which is lighter than this section, which means that the next section that occurs, if it's going to be even lighter, then the market's going to say, nope, we're going to go up now. We're going to start offering out because these guys have placed orders and they want to sell at a higher price point. Let's try and navigate that, because we can then get interest from sellers up here, which will trap people in longs to the upside. So that's what you're really doing. You're having to just break down the logic of what could be unfolding. You are reactive. Don't sit there and be like, well, maybe if, maybe what if. No, be in the chart with money and understand that the only way to truly get an understanding of what's going on in the chart is to have the liquidity down, have enough so that you are accountable for it. But at the same time, even if it's a small amount, you are accountable for that balance. And real cash will always give you the truth of what's going on. When you run this dialogue with yourself, it's exactly what you're getting. You're getting continuous feedback. I'm doing the continuous feedback to you right now. Now, because price is stalling inside of this range, I've got to be very careful because the imbalance is down below. All it takes is one idiot to come along and just dump, and then the bids will get triggered and the price will come down, and I've lost effectively my little earning that I've got here. So now I'm testing the idea that the offers are going to come into play very shortly, but the bids are holding out. Bitcoin's now come back up above the value area region, so that's good news for me. I need to see Bitcoin be continuous with the move and then offer out even higher. I know there's a profile being built right now, and you've got an imbalance up there, so I'm going to be looking for them to try and attack that. Go back into the image of the hybrid system. Looks like we're trending nicely above the 5 and 13 EMA. What we're looking for? We're looking for a push up. That's what we're looking for right now. I need to see those offers coming into play. Bids coming in there. I need to see the offers. Here we go. 358. Someone's getting triggered. There's an imbalance up there. I'd like to see them take that. If I can take that imbalance, I'll be happy with this move. Not liking that rejection. Not liking that rejection at all. I really need to see them coming in. Someone's bidding there, but they're being absorbed at the same time by the offers. I really need to see them try and break this point. Need to see the bids. No bids, just offers right now. Oh, straight after. You see how it went pink and then it went green at an instance? So there's someone there, some things there. Someone wants higher prices. And I think the market's going to gun for it. Top side of that candlestick right there is coming into play. We're coming into a very big bidding area as well as an offering area. So this could then be the fuel for the move to the upside. Got no vector. Oh, there was a little green vector. I haven't seen them sweep that zone just yet. Small amount of bids. Remember what I said over here? 1, 2. Now we're not seeing any more bids in this range. So it could be that they're now getting ready to offer out. Break out from here. Pump 800 EMA. That's what the logic would say. We'll be going back into some big red vector candle on the 4-hour time frame. Just really need to see them try and attack that. Bitcoin needs to keep on marking higher. The logic might come through. Just need to see these offers coming in. I need to see faster price action because it's very, very slow. New 5-minute candle coming into play. Here we go. Some bids, offers now coming in. Delta's turning positive. That's good news. It's starting to sell a little bit. That's a problem. Picking up some more bids. This candle needs to stay in this range. Oh, a little flip there. Holding within the green vector candle range. It's like a mini block. It's a very small block right here. The candle's point of control is higher. Bid, move, bid, move. That's what we're looking at. Wick out below the vector. Rise. It's a consolidation. They're loading up. They're going to pop. They're going to pop up. Watch. It's going to go for that imbalance. Someone's placing offers here. We've got some, here we go. Some more offers coming into play. We've got an offer there, 707,000, 753,000. Nothing significant other than when we get higher up towards, got a nice order there, but the bigger order is all the way up here. Like 2.8 million, isn't it? Oh, was it 3? No, it might be a bit further up. It's 1.8. Where was that order? 2.1, there you go. 2.11 at 36.41 Ethereum. Let them try and finalize the imbalance. Yeah, she's moving, man. Yeah, she's going to pop. There she is. Bids come in. Controlled amount of bids. Okay, notice how they've been bidding inside of this range right here. So if I just get this, just look at this bid zone, right? You see this whole area. Look at the depth of order flow horizontally so that you can understand how the commitment's coming in. Because if they're going to try and load up, then they'll load up on the first initial drop and then they'll slow it down as prices starting to come up. Because what? Guys ain't going to be buying as prices are rising. They're only going to be buying when it's dropping. Now we need to see over here these offers to get triggered over here. If we don't see that, we could end up seeing them coming down a little bit more. So it might be a little bit of a fake out. I need to see the offers coming into play. They are dominating and someone's getting liquidated because this move down made them go short. Here we go. That was a big push right there. Big offer straight away on the book. That's telling me it's going to keep going higher. They can even go and attack. Here we go. Imbalances are being attacked right now. The depth of market is showing me 32 million on the delta. And if they can succeed taking this high, then Ethereum will then start to climb aggressively to take out all these offers over here. And then we're done with the day. Here we go. Here's that push. I need offers. Liquidations are coming into place. So it's going to tap liquidations right now. Go into the open interest. We can see that some traders are going to get in. They're going long at the same time. So people are going long and people are getting liquidated at the same time because they were running shorts on Ethereum. They don't pay themselves. Going into the imbalance. The offers are there. I need to see a high offer at the highest point of the candle. That's what I'm looking for. That'll be the clue for me to get out. But it looks like they're dominating this candle. So it's going to keep on going higher and higher until it gets to a significant point where I say, okay, I need to get out. Open interest is coming into play right now after we just had that little dump over there. So we're going to try and see if they can regulate that. Liquidations are coming in. Offers are coming in, but there's not really that many offers right there. Here we go. She's not done yet. Someone's coming in. The offers are dominating right now. Bids are coming in because they know they're going to start seeing price go higher. So they're going to quickly load up in this point, and then price should then succeed this point. We've got any green vector candles coming into play? Yes, we do. We're now breaking that structure right now. We've swept that, give it a little bit of freedom to try and come back down again, to then effectively try and aim towards the 800 EMA. That would be the ideal scenario, but anything can happen. I really want to see them go up again from this point. The offers are there. The bids ain't doing nothing, man. Look at that. No bids really. And now we've got the offers. That means people are actively buying. So this is where they can trap traders. I've got to be very careful here. Here we go. Keep going. Bitcoin's making a move up. That's good. And remember we said earlier on about that area of liquidity where it's low on the contract side. Bitcoin's working that area right now. 827. I need to see 1,000. Notice how they've gone and succeeded that point. So look right. You can see that the offers came into play. 600. It was 1,000. It's not that much, but we need to really see them offer out a little bit more. The liquidations are coming in. The open interest is coming up. Trade size at the bottom here is dominating. So the candle's been completed in 2 minutes, near abouts. There or thereabouts. Here we go. We've succeeded on the 4-hour time frame. We're not done with this move yet. This candlestick will prove it for me. Got an imbalance up there. This candlestick will prove it for me if that is the case. Violet vector candle, which could insinuate a continuation higher. We've got to wait and see if they can actually do that. Come on. Bids are coming in. So they've done a little breakout and they've pulled back. Bids are coming in right now. Violet vector candle, that's good news for me. The next candle should see it come back up again. Don't turn into a red vector. That's a problem for me if it does. So we're now back into that area again. So that's the shitty thing about this. We're back into the area again. This candle needs to, here we go. Red vector. This candle now needs to try and come back up. Because then if that's the case, then they're just going to use this to start coming back down again. But the bids are, it's not really that aggressive on the bid side. Look, they're coming back into the bid side, but it's appearing from a higher point. They could be getting ready to make the reversal back up. Bitcoin has pulled back ever so slightly. Got to give it freedom. I know they're going to come back into this red vector candle. I know they're going to do that very shortly. So they're going to offer out again. I'm going to mark this across here because I know it's a bid range. So I'm giving it the freedom to do that. If they can succeed at getting back up above this point right here, the start of the next candle will see the imbalance right there. As you can see, they'll recover that imbalance and then they should be trying to climb back up again. I stalled because of that 890. I wanted to see 1,000 contracts or plus, which then if I did see 1,000 contracts, I would have then made the assumption that they're trapping traders, but they did it at 890. Never mind. So we're now waiting to see if they can test this 50, the actual red vector candle to continue higher, take out the 3630. Going into the order book itself, we can see we did take out some liquidity up there and they've marked it back down again, creating another imbalance to try and do the same thing again. So they're going to try and work this range. I know they're going to try and take this. And if I just take some profit now, fine. But I know that I'm leaving money on the table right now if I close this trade, because I know they're going to try and work up again because that's how Ethereum works. Okay. So now back into that range. So they're now getting deep with the bids. Look how aggressive these bids are. This is preparation for the recovery of the red vector. You watch what happens very, very shortly. This candlestick needs to go positive. Look at this imbalance. You see those little red lines? We expect them to try and mark up from here. No offers. It's all bids, and it's a fast amount of bids. So the logic says that we need to retain this zone and understand that they're going to get ready to mark higher. Because the red vector candle didn't appear and below the 50 EMA or breaking into the 50 EMA. It's happened at the highest point. So that tells me that they're going to look to try and mark price higher from this range. Bitcoin's come back down again into the value area. Bids are coming in again. We're coming into this same bid zone. All right. So we've now got every reason to believe that they're going to try and go for that red vector candle. Might need to get out. But I need to wait and see if they can do it. New 1 hour candle coming into play could solidify it. And then there will be a new 4 hour candle if knowledge serves me correctly. Wait there. Yeah, new 4 hour candle coming into play in 10 minutes. That's going to be a big thing right now. Very big thing. So long as they're getting liquidated, look, which could then send price lower. That's a problem for me. So we're going to want to make sure, ooh, offers coming in again. That's good news. Bids there. So they could be buying up in that range. Be very careful here. Just monitor what goes off here. You've got an imbalance up there. They've swept the liquidity, come back into the bidding range that we marked off. Offers started to come in. Someone's been liquidated right there. So open interest going to come back in again. Now we should see it come back up. Not much is happening now, is it? When you see these pauses, that gives me a bit of a clue that what the market was originally doing is going to go back into it. Because if it's marking low and then they've stopped, something's brewing. Something is being prepared. Notice they're bidding higher up here, not down here. Okay? So I'm getting cues right now from this to understand that we're going to go back into this imbalance here. Go back into the red vector candle recovery, test the 50, stopping volume candle right there. So we're now going to get ready to mark back up again. And this markup will then take us hopefully towards the 800 EMA. So what they're doing now is they're giving the order book time to load up, because notice now the offers are starting to come into play here. So they're now going to build the book, build the interest, make the reversal, back into the wick, up she goes. That's what we're looking for right now. Violet vector candle. They need to just stay above the 50 EMA and they need to stay above in this range right here. Lots of activity happening in this range right now. Bitcoin back down below the value area. Just need to see Ethereum now do that move, because this is a controlled move down. Come on. Come down to come back up again. That's good. They're wicking that 50. So you think, is it the 50 EMA? Is it the fact that the bids are coming in? See those big bids right there? Someone just bid it out nicely. But not many longs are being liquidated right now, so they're not ready for those liquidations. Some liquidations are coming into play, and this is open interest. When you read what it says on the open interest, when open interest is down and price is down, that would then suggest that the people are long covering. So longs are getting liquidated, okay? Open interest, price is up, open interest is up, new longs are coming in. So then when you look at that, you can see price has gone down, open interest is down, long covering. Now price is going up, okay? And open interest is down, there's short covering coming into play. And we can back that logic up because we've got an imbalance up here. They've been marking price higher and offers are now coming into play. So the logic says that these guys are rushing right now because they're going to get liquidated, okay? And they've already been liquidating the shorts. So what they've been doing is they've been luring the shorts in on these sharp moves down, forcing them to go open shorts. This is where the bids come into play to effectively then get them to start offering out. Look left, what do we have? 734 right there, 735, and we've got now 598 right there. That could be a spot for us to really take into consideration that we're going to now see them come back up. Vector candle recovery on its way. Happy days. Green vector candle inside of that range. Stopping volume candle 1, stopping volume candle 2. They're going to start making the move to the upside. 800 EMA should be on the cards, ladies and gentlemen, with this move to the upside with Ethereum. Looking in the delta, she's getting busy. 24 million. So you notice we've been around the 24 and the 35s and the 24. We haven't really gone below it as much. Now the offers are coming into play. They've come into that imbalance. They don't look like they want to attack this range because the bids have been buying up inside of this range over here. And look, what did we say? Load up aggressively, load up sort of aggressively. Then they've loaded up again here. They're now loading up as lighter in this point. No one's been buying in this or bidding in this except that little bit there. The offers have been coming in here. So that tells me now we should be going higher from this point. Look at all these offers here. And if they don't break this high and continue, then this would be a big fat trap to bring it down. So I really need to see the offers coming in to mark price up and get out of this zone because they've been protecting themselves. They've been buying up in this range, okay? I really need to see them do that. We just have a look over here. Here we go. We've got the vector candle recovery point right there. So we know what we'll be doing with that. And this will be a classic rise, retrace, continuation out to the upside. 800 EMA up there. Give me that vector. Look, offers are coming in. Look left. Are they coming in line with the previous areas? Yet, so the market's memory is getting triggered right now. We're going to see it. Here we go. Form that high. Make the sweep up. Attack the 800 EMA and we get out. We'll go make a cup of tea. But if they can't take that high, then I'll be staying here until they take that high. That could be a little bit of a while, but nonetheless. Come on. Your offers are there. Your offers are there. Come on. Oh, short liquidations coming into play. That's good news. Remember what we said about open interest? Open interest is going up. Price is going up. That implies new longs. So people are now buying, okay? Which is what fuels the offers, which is why they're stacking up here, getting ready to get their orders taken. Look at these guys up here. 600, 1.82 million, getting stacked up, man. They want their orders to be filled. This is 800 EMA flavor, okay? Liquidations right here coming into play. Come on, make the move. What are we on? Six minutes until the start of a next 4-hour candle. That is going to be huge. And they've now managed to finish above in this value area high. This value area, sorry. This gray bit. Okay, so here we go. It's taking the high. 800 EMA. Come on. Offers. Sweep. Go for it. Go for it. If they don't do it at speed, I'll be a little bit concerned about it. Bitcoin's making a move. Open interest coming into play. New longs are coming in. Bitcoin still not made that way. But Ethereum is leading right now. Top side of the 4-hour candle. Liquidations coming into play. So they should pick up steam. But it's slowing down. I'm not liking it. They really need to offer out. Imbalance range right there. Come on. Look at that. Look down here. Look. Trade value. Look at that. That's huge. That is commitment. Look, that is one-sided candle, that is. That is just offering out. If they don't continue with this offering, then I'll be so surprised. It could come back down and recover this imbalance. They need to shift out. What's the Delta saying to me? Tina, what have you done? No. Where is it? There it is. Here she is, 8:30. That's what we want to see on the breakout. We want to see that breakout up there. Where are we at on Delta? 41. Okay, so we need to wait for them. Here we go, 901, 761. It's one-sided, ladies and gentlemen. One-sided move. We got some vectors. Yes, we do, I think. No, not yet. Very interesting. Okay, so we're going to now wait and see if they can actually continue with this narrative higher. I'll be getting ready to take a profit on this move. Get back to that VWAP. Go on. Go on. Give me a green vector candle at the 800 EMA. That's what we're looking for. Offering beautifully right there. Beautiful. Shorts are getting liquidated right there. You see that? Price is up. Open interest down. People are effectively closing off their shorts. They're getting liquidated. There's that 1,000 again. Come on. Short liquidations again. Where are we at with our positioning? 2,700. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? If it does it, if it can do it, if it stays above that point, I'll hold on to it. I do want the 800 EMA. Bitcoin's starting to make a move, but they're starting to stall again, which they could bring it back down again. Do you know what? I'm walking away. 2,600. Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. That's perfectly fine for me. Yep, not bad. I'll take that. With this morning's 4K, yep. Nearly 6.5, 7 grand. I'm happy with that, ladies and gentlemen. And whatever it does from here, I don't care. I really don't care. It's made the move to the upside. I'm fine with that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is just breaking it all down for you. Real time. But the takeaway for you is how you manage the expectation by getting the feedback. We can look in hindsight. Yeah, that's all great. But we're looking at orders. Okay? We're paying attention to the relationship of the bids and the offers. Play this video back again. What am I saying over and over? Take that. Because when you want to learn something from someone, they are saying something at a specific point in time. So in relation to this, they're saying something at a specific point in time. What you've got to try and do is go and see if you can be saying the same thing in the future. Because you now know that when you look at this point right here, the bids were coming in. Bids were coming in. We marked off this area here, this support area earlier on. Okay? And I'm having that conversation with you. I'm saying to you, look, there's a bit of an imbalance down there. They could go and attack. They could have taken that, no problem. Okay? Have I closed prematurely? Maybe. But you know what? I don't care. I don't know it's going to go definitely up there. And now that I'm out of the trade, I'm not looking for feedback anymore. So I've disconnected with the chart. I now need to go put commitment in to get connected to the chart. Now, if you commit into the chart to get connected, be careful that when you commit into the chart, that your emotions disconnect you from the chart. And the only way you do that is if you put down too much money. Because then that way you're paying attention to the liquidity. You're not paying attention to this liquidity in front of you. That's why I say to you, use light size. Use it. Use it. Light size gives you freedom. It gives you the flexibility to have this dialogue in the chart. Mad love and respect, guys. Peace.